Okay, so I wanted to make a small video here. When I was taking apart the car, I had nothing to reference because there's no videos out there yet. And the pictures that you can find are from Hyundai, and they're lines, and everything is very confusing. So what we see here, we have these right here, and there's one more down here. They just slide on. The entire crash pad slides onto it and pushes onto it. That's what holds it there. Trying to get the crash pad off, we have several bolts. We have two right here, which is what helps hold the passenger airbag in. You have the yellow cord, which gives power to the passenger airbag. These were somewhat of a challenge. These are side airbags. They kind of get in the way, but you can just kind of push them, and they'll eventually come. As you can see, hanging here is one of the speakers. You have one on both sides. They just rest up in the corner right here, inside of the crash pad. You see the other one down there as well. I was working on trying to get to my heater core right here. I have heat not going to the passenger side, and I'm trying to see if I can fix it. The dealership wanted $2,000 for it, replace the entire system, and I'm pretty sure it's just a door that's getting stuck, so I'm looking to see what I can do. Coming over here, we had a few bolts that we had to take out. In total, I think I'm about 50 bolts and screws in to take everything out. I ended up not taking the center console out, although some online guides say that you can and that you should. I found I was able to do it without that. There's not many pictures available, so I'm going to see if I can get in a little bit closer, show some other things that we have. Mostly a ton of wires everywhere. Come over here, you see the air filter. I have the cover on it off. The blower fan right below it. The air intake. I believe the back one should be the defroster there. This front one should be what divides it to go to the cabin. And a couple things that we're looking at. We have this actuator right here. There's a green part that snaps onto it. This is on the driver's side. It goes right here. You see the three different things. You have the white, and blue. Those all attach to that green thing, and they all turn at the same time. And that's what I'm thinking is broken, because I'm still getting really hot heat to the heater side, but nice and cool air at the same time on the passenger side. You come over here, you have your passenger actuator. Very much the same thing. Same purpose, different side. You can see it fits in right there and goes on this flap right there. Which actually, you don't have to take apart the car as much to get to this one. Take apart the glove box a little bit. There is a vent that comes down right here, wraps around. It just slides that off, and you'll have nice, easy access to get to this. I learned that this time. I've taken this actuator off before. I didn't know that this came off. Of course, it's sometimes helpful if you want to drop the steering wheel down. You have some bolts here. I believe there's one back here. Same here, there and there. It's sometimes helpful so that you can just get into everything and not have to work over top of the steering wheel that just gets in the way. Just kind of letting you see it for a second. If I can give you a reference, something to look at, because I didn't have anything to look at. This is the airbag that we have. I didn't quite figure out how to get it out, but you have this connector right here. It's not going to let me focus. So you can see up and down is a hole. This is going side to side. You have to turn that so it's straight, and then it should just come straight out. I couldn't figure out how to turn it. It's in there too tight. I tried using needle nose pliers. Probably there's another way to do it. You just want to be careful. As you can see, this yellow right there is the airbag. Same thing on the other side. That's what we have going on there. Not exactly sure what everything is, so I'm not going to call it out. But we got a lot of moving parts here. A lot of electrical. And it's going to be somewhat of a guessing game, trying to get everything back and make sure it's working. It's probably going to take a lot longer. It probably took me 3-4 hours to take everything off. It took 2 of us to take the actual crash pad out of here. A lot of challenges, especially with the steering wheel. These like to get in the way. It's a very, very tight fit getting it out. If you have more space, more time, more room, I would definitely recommend remove the seats. It's kind of a pain to do so, but it's definitely going to help you. So you can get in here and get access, because you really don't have a lot of room. I'll try to take some pictures and maybe another video or two as I put it back together. See if I can show you some of the steps. This is what we're looking at. I'm going to go down here and give you a good solid look too. So the BCM sits right here. You can't really, can't see where it goes. There's a screw right there that goes into the BCM, the body control module, and holds it in place. I had to remove that. There was also a screw on the back side here that you had to take out to get the BCM out before you got access to this area right here. There was no way to physically get a screwdriver in, at least with what I had. Tools that I've been using: your basic multi-tool screwdriver, and this, the single most useful tool that I found. It has a 90-degree Phillips head on one end, and most of the parts are Phillips. So I found a few 8mm nuts. I found a few bolts. I found a few 10mm, and that's pretty consistent throughout. I think there was one or two places I may have found a 9 or a 12, but for the most part everything's 8 and 10mm, pretty consistent.